verse number 23. Om Tat Saditi Nirdeshaha Brahmanastrividha Smrutaha Brahmanastena Vedascha Yajñascha Vihita Pura. So in the last class we have discussed these points very carefully. That Om Tat Sat was being used by Creator Brahmaji while creating this universe. And of course, when Brahmaji has used this word, it is better to use this word. For what purpose? To make sure that my tamasic activities and rajasic activities will get converted into sattvic activities. Suppose if already I am in sattvic activities, it will be better, finer. And of course we saw also that in the beginning of the creation, Brahmanaha, Brahmins, Vedas and Yajna. So these three were created. Most important thing that also we have seen in details why these three are important and how it takes care of everything. Now the next verse is, look, because Lord Brahma or Brahmaji the creator used this thing, that's why this Om Tat Sat to be used every activities. So let us read the verse. Tasmad Omityudahritya Yajna Dana Tapah Kriya Pravartante Vidhanuktaha Satatam Brahmavadinam. He says, look, so Brahmavadinam. So Brahmavadina means those who are well versed in Vedas. So Brahma means here Veda. So don't look at, oh, Brahmavadinam, those who are, wise people. So that's why contextually you have to understand the word. That's why this methodology of teaching becomes important, or else methodology of teaching has no role. However, so he says, look, Tasmad, therefore, Brahmavadinam. So those who are well versed in the Vedas, Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Kriya. The activities in the form of yajnas, danam and tapas. Vidhanuktaha, of course, which are being mentioned as injunction by the Vedas. Now, pravartante satatam, always happens, takes place always. Udahruta, after the utterance of what? Om iti. With the word Om. So now, you can see the difference here a little bit if you have smartness. In the previous verse, it said Om Tat Sat. Now he uses this word Om. So don't you think there is some, missing? Yes. So this Om Tat Sat or Om, there are two versions. So either you can say Om Tat Sat, so that it becomes complete, or Om. That's why, especially if you come to Rishikesh, Haridwar, Uttarkasi, all these religious places. So when somebody wants to call somebody unknown person, Om or Hari Om, It's a very, convenient way of calling somebody. Om. They don't call, hey, hello. So why to bring that wife of somebody, okay? I have enough of problem, my wife, okay? Why should bring another wife, okay? So they call as Om. So it's a very nice way of, to draw the attention of others. So here he says, look, before starting any yajna, any dhanam, any ritual, Om to be used. That's why we also use this very carefully. Without using the word Om, a mantra is not complete. So that's why we use the word. For example, if we say Sri Mahalakshmi Namaha, so prior to that we use the word Om Sri Mahalakshmi Namaha. So always we make sure that Om has to be before. So here is being highlighted that look, all these people, those who are well versed in Vedas, so any activities they do, whether they do any ritual, Panchamahayagya, or they do their day-to-day activities, they use the word Om. And of course, while giving dhanam of any austerities, that's why it is very common, especially in this belt. In Himalayan belt, you can see anybody and everybody addresses others as Om. Okay, but what about this Om Tat Sat? Yes, well and good. If you can use Om Tat Sat, fantastic. If you cannot use, at least it is to be used Om. Because at least by using the word Om, I feel I am being protected. That's why I say, Avrut Avati Rakshati Palayati. So the one who protects. So that means if I am being protected, more than that, what I expect in this universe? Whole problem is that I feel I am not protected. Now people go crazy. This is a new trend. When the child is in the womb, so this is, I don't know where from it came. So they feel child is really protected in the womb. This is called so-called stupidity of femininity, okay? Craziness. So now it is a new trend. What is happening when the child is, let us say the mother is last stage. So they take the measurement or the shape of the womb, and they create a, with a plaster of Paris and vessel, a place. So the child, when feels uncomfortable, can get into that. How is it possible? For 1 month, that also difficult, okay? You understand what I am trying to say? So it is a showcase. What are the crazy ideas people have? And there are people, confused people also enjoy that, don't worry, okay? So that also you have to understand. Recently I saw somebody about dream management, okay? So you can attend dream management course, okay? Hey, why you should have dream first? Then you have to attend somebody's dream management course, okay? Must be cretin, nothing else. And I'm not telling you jokes. Only cretin means cretina version of cretin, okay? Not cretina version, okay? Only cretina version of cretin is love this sort of program. This alignment, that alignment, hey, God's sake. If a person is straightforward, Arjavam, please understand. If a person is straightforward, Arjavam, what thinks, that talks and works. there will be no de-alignment at all. People may misunderstand. But in due course of time, everything will be good because you need to be sensitive, of course. At least motives should not be wrong. But these crazy people, motives are wrong, but they want to attend everything to fix. Nothing will happen. Continuing. How? He says beautifully, then if this is the case, now we would like to know, so what is this Om? Now let us continuing this Om Tat Sat, because in the next verse he is going to use this word. How? He says, look, Tat Sabda, what is that Tat? Tadityana visandhaya phalam yajnatapah kriya dana kriyasya vividaha kriyante moksha kankshivih. This is a beautiful one. Moksha kankshivih. Because in fact, two words we have to take from this verse, which are interlinked. One is called moksha kankshivih. So, the one who is seeker of liberation. So, they are called moksha kankshivih. So, who are the seeker of liberation? So, he says, look, anabhisandhaya phalam iti. So, these two are two words you have to take together very nicely. So, those who are seekers of liberation. So, they are what? People, those who don't have expectation of any result except Chitta Suddhi or Antakarana Suddhi. Because people, many say, oh, I want moksha. Fantastic. I am the seeker. Fantastic. Then next point is what? My house to be protected. Where from your house came? My children to be protected. My wife to be protected. Husband to be protected. You understand what I am trying to say? If you say that you are moksharthi, you are the seeker of moksha, then how come suddenly you become that artharthi? Looking for security, artha not only money, okay? Security. So that's why here he uses this word. Moksha kankshivih means what? Those who are anabhisandhaya phalam. Because you can observe this point. Whenever you do something, expecting a result, and that too a given result, you will see, you will create a lot of noise. While working, of course, when result comes, don't ask. Only noise. You understand? Only noise, nothing else. Rejection, fighting, this, that. Whereas, when you do the activities without expecting so-called results, a targeted result, a binding result, you will have jerk-free activities. Observe this point very carefully. These jerk-free activities must be developed into jerk-free lifestyle. For example's sake, by practice one can have jerk-free. It's like when you start driving. In the beginning stages of driving, there will be a lot of jerks. Fear, control, because there is a target. Very strong target. You have to reach, take care of this, that, you don't listen to anybody. Fantastic. After due course of driving, it becomes very natural. So the jerk-free driving takes place, no doubt in it. That is called because of practice, nothing wrong in it. But practice being mechanical, you may be a jerk-free person with reference to driving. But if someone comes in wrongly, if traffic police catches you, or something happens here and there, where is your jerk-free life? All anger, frustration will come in such a way, your glass is closed, you will start shouting at others. You understand? So where is your jerk-free life? So each one is having jerk-free activities in their area. But it has to be extended to all the area. That's why I say jerk-free activities to jerk-free lifestyle. So when I am having jerk-free lifestyle, because of what? The main concept is that I don't run behind any strong desire that is in the form of a result. Because when there is no binding desire in me, if it happens, good. Does not happen, what happens? I'll happily say, is better. Whereas if I have a target, including, some people like to attend class or not to attend class, it will not work. That's why what I need to do here is that Anavis Sandhaya Phalam to be highlighted. Because when I do anything, remember, whenever I do anything, I will get back the result, whether I do good or bad. But my insecurity always focuses or makes me to focus on the result of action. Can you see this point? It is not your action or activities. It is your insecurity makes you to focus on what? On the result of action. I will give a beautiful example that I have observed, especially when you go for trekking, Gangotri to Gomukh, or even if Kedarnath trek also same thing. I have observed people. Very nice point to observe. So when you go for this long trekking, this is how religious people get trained without knowledge. This is the cultural practices. This is the purpose of Tirtha Yatra. So when we go for long, the Gangotri to Gomukh, now definitely many people will not have strength. Many of them first time practitioner. Great difficulties they go. I'm talking about the hard difficult situation, not that they are professional trekker. Sometimes many of them don't have shoe. With chappal they go. Some people also gone, I have seen, without chappal. Really. Without slipper, anything, just bare feet. To be respected. What happens there? They don't focus on the end point at all. They keep chanting, being engaged, seeing the scenery, talking, sitting. That's why especially Kedarnath you can enjoy much more as you little bit tired, sit down or something. The one who is coming down or behind who is overtaking will say, Om Namah Shivaya, with a force. Then you wake up. Okay, you have your energy. It's very nice, observation, especially in Kedarnath. The moment you start walking, you are tired, you want to sit down or you are sitting down. So the one who is over crossing unknown, Om Namah Shivaya, the way you will say, you will feel like, okay, let me start walking. So can you see this point, how it works? Whereas if you are having some knee pain, leg pain, or you have BP, sugar, this, that, what will happen? Always you will keep focusing how many kilometers, whether I will reach or not. This will be my last trip. I don't think I will do any more. You understand? Only you will be focusing on what? The end result. Is it clear? So whenever you are focusing on end result, that means you are completely insecure with reference to that end. That's why if you observe, that person climbs up or gets better job. This is the one of the job interview. When, I'm not talking about this clerical job, okay? This is in front of computer to 10 hours, 20 hours. I'm not talking about that job, okay? That I call as sophisticated clerical job, okay? Anyway, so if you are really going to get better job, so basic thing is what? That you are not insecure with reference to what? End result. That is how they observe. If they discover there is no insecurity, that's all. I'll tell you why and how, just I'm stretching a little bit to understand how it works. Like any civil service, especially in Indian case, Indian civil service, one of the most prestigious job. So when especially you go IAS, Indian Administrative Service, the final round is called interview. Many people get into panic and they lose. Because they don't call you. This is the basic thing, nobody teaches them. That's why nowadays a lot of things practices are going on. Because your knowledge already have been tested through 2 levels. They don't test your knowledge there. They only test your aptitude and attitude. Nothing else. How you present yourself, how you manage yourself, and later on, of course, how you manage the situation. But if you try to prove yourself that you are a knowledgeable person, will you fail or not? Get my point? So also in life. Every time, whenever you work, whenever you relate with anybody, always you relate to proof. So when you relate with someone to prove, you are the loser. Because there is nothing to prove. If anything you want to prove your insecurity. Don't make it louder, okay? So that's why here is being said, anabhisandhaya. That's why I stretched this point. Then what he says, look, yajna tapah dana kriya. So whether it's yajna, tapas, any activities, vividha kriyaha, various activities that is in the form of either yajna or tapas or dhanam. Now he says, look, this moksha moksha akankshibhi, so moksha akankshibhi, the seeker of liberation, anavisandhyaya, without expecting any result except antakarana suddhi, they say tat iti. They say tat. So that's why Om Tat Sat is popular. Okay. But now, Lord Krishna thought, why not? Let me also explain a little bit more about Sad Sabda. Because we have already seen Om, Tat and Sat. We already discussed in the last class. But Lord Krishna himself takes pain to explain the word Sat. So let us read what he wants to say. So he will be giving some 5 meanings at least. So we can try to cover as much as possible. Sadbhave sadhubhave cha sadityeta prayujyate प्रशस्ते कर्माणि तथा सत्शब्दः पार्थ युज्यते. Says, look, so O Partha, O Arjuna, so yujyate is used. Prasaste karmani in the sense of good actions. So what is that? Sat iti etat. The word sat. So this sat is being used for what? In sense of good actions. Now let us start from starting is sadbhave in the sense of existence. So we can, the first meaning of sat is that is being used as existence. Because if you observe anytime, we very nicely use this word that which is existing is called sat. So that means the eternal existence is called sat. This is the first meaning. Sat bhave, that which exists eternally. Second one, he uses sadhu bhave. So sadhu bhave means sadhu bhava. Sadhu means what here is called good conduct. Sadhutvam means here we call as goodness, nothing else. Sadhnoti parakaryam karoti iti sadhu. So the one who is engaged for the welfare of others, that person is called sadhu. Not the one who engages others for one's own welfare. Okay? So nowadays, that person is called sadhu, who is capable of engaging others for one's own welfare. So nowadays, who are the called gurus? So the more you are able to create fanfare, make engaged, not only for you, for your son, daughter, family, everybody, you understand? It's an amazing concept. Don't let us not get into. So here he says, the first being pure existence. Second one we use called good conduct. That means the one who lives in keeping with dharma. So dharmacharin ityartha. That's why all the dharmadhyaksha are called sadhus. That's why in North India, every Swami is called as sadhu, or any good person called as sadhu. That's why sometimes when somebody in the speech they say good, they won't say good, sadhu, sadhu. Very nice expression, sadhu, sadhu. Then, of course, the third meaning says, prasaste karmani. So, prasaste karmani means any good karma is called sat karma. Anything that is good, noble, auspicious, or you can say that karma that is going to bring me to auspiciousness, that also is called as what? Sat. So he says this thing, these three meanings are here. Prasaste karmani tatha sat sabda partha yujyate. So in this here three, sat sabda is being used o partha. So again two more are in the next verse. Let us read two more verse. This verse we can complete it. Yajñe tapasi dane cha sthiti saditi chochyate karma chaiva tadarthiyam sadityevavidhiyate. Says, look, now other meaning also we need to do. He says, look, after this, first one is sadbhava, second one is sadhubhava, third one is called prasaste karmani, with the noble action. Now fourth meaning would be here called commitment. Yajñe tapasi dane cha stitihi sadit uchyate. Cha uchyate. So stiti means steadfastness, commitment. So commitment with what? Commitment to my ahankara? Commitment towards my insecurity? No. Here it says commitment what? In yajna, in tapas, and in dhanam. Not, once in a while, blue moon, I, want to do Panchamahayajna. Suddenly one thought comes, okay? Today I should do Panchamahayajna. So some, fancy, that is called, we call as a fancy. Same thing also tapas. I want to do some tapas. How many days, how many hours? Don't ask, okay? So also dhanam. Oh, I feel like doing some dhanam. Sorry, that is not helpful. So that's why here he says that there is sthiti, there is commitment. So you do, preservance. So that means when there is commitment to yajna, commitment to tapas, commitment to dhanam, so this nishtha, remember, is called sat. Nishtha means commitment, okay? That's why we call that nishtha is called sannishtha. Sat, nishtha, sannishtha. So this becomes the fourth meaning. And of course, fifth meaning we need to see. He says what? Karma chaiva tadarthiyam. So karma chaiva tadarthya means any other activities. So karma, any action, tadarthyam, for the sake of what? Tat Ishwaraha. So any activities that I do not for my insecurity. So Ishvara doesn't need any action, okay? Don't worry. Ishvara does not need a place. You need a place to prove that you provide a place to Ishvara, okay? So, I do all activities for my insecurity. Here, I do any other activities, any secondary activities makes no difference. For the sake of Ishvara, which indirectly promotes yajna, danam and tapas. So that is also considered as sat karma only. So even if I do business, that's why we come to this Varna Vyavastha. So Varna Vyavastha, when we say, a king without doing much gets lot of benefits from the ritual because he indirectly supports. Forget about that. Directly I can say is this thing point is, these wives are called Ardhangini. It's a very nice concept to understand. So wife is not a good, not a bad word, okay? Because nowadays, present day, women are crazy, okay? Hey, I am, how can I be? I'm sorry. Some, crazy ideas. I don't know, some rebellious, I don't know, something wrong seriously. So I can say that, they need some concentration camp, okay? I'm sorry to use this bad word, okay? Because why I brought this topic today? See, this Ardhangini concept is amazing from this. A wife, without doing anything, just of her support, mere support, will get 50% of the punyam of husband. Can you believe? A wife, just mere support, will get 50% of the punyam, means good result, of husband. But not papam, okay? Very clear. Definitely not papam. Only punya account will come to her. So what a beautiful concept. Nobody understands this. But nowadays everybody wants what? 50% alimony. That is called punya, okay? Give me my alimony. And especially in India, people are scared to get married, okay? And especially if you are married, in Indian case, 9 years if I am right, 9 or 7 years. 7 years you have to be very careful. You have to just keep quiet. Because Indian law is very funny, okay? 7 or 9 years. Because the lady can file you, dowry case, this case, that case, all the false allegation. You are finished. However, that's why, as it was, so whatever you do business, you do this thing, that thing, indirectly is your business, your action helps yajna, dana, karma, tapas. That is also called sat karma. So put together the 5 meanings of sat. More of it we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.